Hello, you are welcome again to the channel. My name is Blessing Ejechi. Today we want to look at the effects, the consequences of having spiritual spouse, spiritual wife, or a spiritual husband. I would like to note that nobody chose to have a spiritual husband or a spiritual wife. It is not in the mind of anybody to say, when I'm coming to this life, I would like to have spiritual wife or a spiritual husband. Spiritual wife or a spiritual husband is a consequence of some actions that were taken either by you or the people that were taking care of you, or the people that have authority over you, such as your fathers, your mothers, or even your grandparents. The issue of spiritual spouse, spirit wife, or spirit husband is a consequence of actions that were taken by you or by the people before you. If your parents have done things that attracted them into your family, it is possible that you are going to have one spiritual spouse or the other. If you too, you may have done some certain things that activated or called them into your life. When you do such things, such as sacrifice or fetish activities or certain ceremonies, what you have done is to call them. So let us look at the effects of having these spiritual spouses. When you begin to see somebody having sex between your dream, or somebody claiming to be your spiritual husband, what are the things that, negative things that you are going to be seeing in your life? Number one is, if you are not yet married, you are going to have delay in marriage. There are many people that are facing delay in marriage, not because they do not want to marry or they are not beautiful, but because of the actions of these familiar spirits that call themselves spiritual husband or spiritual wife. When they get married to you, they will not want you to get married physically. I have seen people that are being delayed in marriage as a result of their spiritual spouse not wanting them to marry. And if you want to marry, you are in a such condition, it is not impossible. You can marry if you are able to break away from the yoke, or you are able to divorce that spiritual spouse to be able to marry. And most of these people, when they enter into one relationship or the other, sometimes the relationship doesn't work out. I have seen a lady that her spirit husband threatens her physical intending spouse. When anyone wants to come and marry her, these familiar spirits will come to threaten the would-be spouse in the dream and even physically too. I was told of the story of a man that a familiar spirit of his wife beat in the dream, and physically when this man woke up, he began to see literal injury on his body. The things that happened in his dream or vision began to happen physically. So most of these spiritual spouses arouses those people that wants to marry them. So that results in them not marrying early. So late marriage is one of the consequences of a spirit spouse, spirit wife, or a spirit husband. The second thing that this spirit wife or spirit husband does is it promotes family curses and generational evil pattern. When you see a man that is having a spiritual spouse, what that spouse has come to do, or what that spirit wife or the husband comes to do, is to make sure that the evil pattern that actually run in the family of that individual is repeated in the life of this person that has it. So a spirit wife or a spirit husband is like an activator of that evil family pattern that is playing in your family. Number three is it brings stagnations and disappointment. Anyone that have this familiar spirit most of the time suffers from stagnation. if you have spiritual spouse or a spiritual husband, they don't bring any good thing to your life. Instead, they try to bring negative things because the enemy does not want you to have success in life. They don't want you to move forward. Instead, they want you to remain in that particular place or stage that you are in life. Another thing that spiritual spouses does is to make sure that it impacts your marriage negatively. If you eventually get married, they will make sure that they frustrate your marriage and you don't have a successful marriage. In the introduction of this familiar spirit and spirit husband, I told you the story of a woman that came to my mom to tell her that she was having problem with her husband. And when my mother came to inquire the reason why she was having that conflict in marriage, she confided in my mom that anytime she sleep with her spirit husband, there must be a trouble in her marriage that sometimes may result to a very huge conflict that may want to truncate, that may want to bring her marriage to divorce. Another effect of this spiritual spouse, spirit wife, or spirit husband is childlessness or barrenness. You see, those people that have had children in the marine world or in the spiritual world, most of the time the covenant that they have with their spirit husband is that they will not have children in the physical world. So if you are a person like that, sometimes you may not even know of the covenant that has been made on your behalf. And these spirits may not also tell you. Most of the time also these people know. So if the covenant is for you not to have physical children, that kind of person does not have children. Sometimes anytime they want to give birth, they die in the process. There are many people that died during childbirth, not because of any medical condition, but because of this particular spirit husband or spirit wife. It is possible for a person to die during childbirth because of spiritual things. See, the spiritual world controls the physical. So if you must excel in this world, by the grace of God, you must try to deal with anything that want to limit you in the physical. And one of them that limits you from the spiritual to the physical is a spiritual spouse, spiritual wife, or a spiritual husband. And I believe that with this lesson, your eyes are opened to this most of these spiritual truths, so that you will find a way to deal with spiritual wife or spiritual husbands in your life. Please, if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, I would like you to do so, as the Lord will bless you in Jesus' name.